Hey, what is going on, guys? So we'll be taking a look at this fitness or activity tracker watch from a company called XFIT. This wirelessly syncs to your phone over Bluetooth using their app, so it doesn't use the iPhone's health app or anything, but it does use a third-party app that is made by these guys, and it works pretty well, I guess, but of course we'll get into that in the actual review. So this is everything that you get in the box. I mean, there's an instruction manual in here, so that shows you how to download the app and use the watch and everything, but this is everything that you get in the box other than the instruction manual. This is just the little box that it comes in, so you can just see that. Pretty nice little box here, and this currently is at $50, and it is very comparable to something like a Fitbit, which is a lot more heavily priced. So if you are looking for a fitness tracker watch, then this might not be a bad idea, but you can of course watch this review and see if it is interesting to you. So this is one of the first devices that when I first open it up out of the box, it is not pre-charged, so I had to go ahead and charge it up before using it for a bit. But to charge it, you just take this piece out here. It's pretty difficult to get out of this, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, so you just kind of pull this, and yeah, eventually you'll just kind of slip it out. I think getting it from the bottom is actually easier, so yeah, you can just get it from the bottom like this. So this is the actual tracker piece. This is just a piece of rubber that of course allows you to wear it, but this is the actual tracker piece. You can just push a button here and it lights up and tells you the current time here, and then you just charge it using a micro USB, which is on the side, and the micro USB is included. So you just charge it. I charged it for about 2 hours, and then it was fully charged, and so far it's lasted me about 5 hours, which really isn't that bad. When you of course want to use the tracker, you would just simply put it back inside of here, and yeah, getting it back in is not nearly as difficult as getting it out. So anyway, once you have it in here, this is what it looks like. One thing that I think is very annoying about this is that it is extremely difficult to put on yourself. So if you are trying to go like this, and just this piece here needs to go into here, and it's extremely difficult to do. So I personally wasn't able to get it on myself, so I had to ask somebody to help me. But if you ask somebody to help you and they get it on, it's not that bad. So if you're not frequently taking it on and off, it's not that big of a deal, but a different kind of strap or something would be really nice, because this is just really hard to get on and off. This is the actual tracker device here, so you can see that it is just in the band here. So we have multiple modes here, so if you push this button and then hold it down, it will actually activate our sleeping mode, and it will go ahead and flash a little moon here, which shows it was sleeping, and then I believe you can either push it, no, you have to hold it down again, and then it will go put it back into daytime mode. So the difference is that it tracks your sleep when you are holding down that button, and then it'll just put it into the app and then show you sleep. So that is what that does. So here we have our time, here we have our steps. I have not worn this today, so it says I have 20, so that's just from moving around and stuff. You can see that it is recorded 20 of them. And then I have 0 calories burned because I only have 20 steps. I've gone 0 miles because, you know, I've gone 0 miles using this watch today. And my current workout is 0 minutes because I haven't actually done anything with this watch on today. So anyway, the time is currently 4:40, and that is in fact accurate. It actually syncs with the app on your phone, so the time is always pretty accurate using your phone's time, so that is pretty good. And then the steps and everything don't automatically go into the app on your phone, but they will if you push a little sync button. So to actually go ahead and sync this, there isn't any buttons or anything you push. You just have to go ahead and download their app, which I will show you here. So this is their app on the very end here. It is called Extreme XFIT, and you just open the app here. And then it will say that is my goal from a few days ago. So when I actually went for a run with this, that I went for 1.25 miles. I had 2,796 steps, and I burned 148 calories. To actually go ahead and sync this, you have to push the little sync button, and then it will have a loading sign transferring data, and then it will say synced. So that is good that it says success, and this is today, of course. I've gone 0.01 miles, which isn't really accurate because I haven't worn this today, but anyway, this is just the kind of interface you get after you've downloaded the app. There isn't really any syncing or anything. You just go ahead and look for this device, and then your device will pop up. All of the instructions for doing this are in the box. The instructions were really easy. I couldn't actually really find the app without using the instructions, but you just go to the website and it brings you to the app store, and it's really not too difficult if you read the instructions. So I do recommend reading the instructions. They're not too painful, and they will help you out using this device quite a bit. So you can actually check the details of today. It just kind of shows you the act time. Let's go to the day where I actually did some things. I'm sure it'll be more interesting. So It says act time was 22 minutes. I think that just means I was exercising for 22 minutes, and then my average speed was apparently 3.8 miles per hour, and my average pace was 17 minutes per mile. So that is really, really slow. I wasn't going too fast or anything, so don't think I'm like, yeah, whatever. But anyway, so it kind of shows your average pace, your average speed, your time, and the calories burned. And I was surprised with how accurate this actually was. It's not a super expensive watch or anything, but it was pretty sneaking accurate because I went on a track rather than just around. So I went on a track so I could actually measure how far I was going. And after 4 laps on the track, I did say 1 mile, so it was actually accurate. And it was actually able to recognize when I started running versus when I was like walking and whatnot, because I was just walking there, it didn't start it, but when I started running, it actually started recording the time and the calories and all of that, which is pretty cool to see. It also records your sleep here. I don't think I slept with this on, so I don't know. It says I woke up at 4:39 p.m., but I don't think I have any days where I've actually, I don't know any specific day where I actually slept with this on, so I won't really be able to show you anything, but it will go ahead and show you your sleep time and the time you woke up, and then it will show you how long you were in bed, how long it took you to fall asleep, and then deep sleep and all of that cool stuff. And it does work pretty well. I mean, I wouldn't know because I was asleep, but I looked at it and it seemed pretty accurate because it was the time I slept and the time I woke up, and it's all based on movement if you're wearing this. So when you stop moving, it says you're asleep, and then if you're moving your wrists and stuff while you're asleep, then it will recognize that you're not in a deep sleep. And then when you go ahead and hold down this button for a bit after you're waking up, then it will record that and say that is the time you woke up. We can also check our running history here, so you can see all of the days that are 0. I was not actually wearing this, but let's see, there's some, where are they? Alright, there's 1.24 miles, 0.01 miles, and way up here I did some more. I guess it reset or something, but I had a bit more. Oh yeah, there's 0.32, 0.09, and 1.14 and all that. But yeah, anyway, it will show you your time and mileage and everything. And if you click on this, you can actually go ahead and see more in-depth information on this. So if you're like, what did I do on this day? Rather than having to scroll back and whatnot, you can just click on this, and then, it will do that. You can also check your sleep history. This actually might be a good way for me to show you. All right, so looks like I slept with this on here. So we can check. It said I woke up at 12:03 I woke up at 12:03 p.m. and it doesn't say what time I fell asleep. Apparently it took me 4 minutes to fall asleep. So yeah, apparently I went to bed at 4 in the morning, which is actually accurate. So, I went to bed at 4 in the morning, woke up at noon. That's very healthy, I know. And then it says I woke up 0 times. It only took me 4 minutes to fall asleep because it was 4 o'clock in the morning. So I guess that makes sense. I was deep sleep 99% of the time, and bedtime, I think that means just like not deep sleep. So 1% of the time. And then if I go into the summary, I can see the time I woke up and all of that. This isn't just based on the average American or whatever. You can actually go into info here and set all your stuff. So your goals, your names, your stride, height, weight, and your age and all of that. So we'll go ahead and make this personal rather than just the average American or whatever. So if your calories being burned are based on a 170-pound person and you're only 130 pounds, then it won't be very accurate. But because you actually set this up in the app, it will be a lot more accurate. So the app isn't too great, but it does everything that it's supposed to do. I wish the interface was, a little better, but you can just kind of swipe between things and see the different days, and it will work pretty well. But I think like a calendar or something would be kind of cool, or just, it just seems really, really basic and simple, but it does what it's supposed to do, and it actually records pretty well using this little tracker here. The only thing I can really complain, other than the app not being too sophisticated and this not doing a ton, the things it does do, which are tells time, records steps, calories, distance, and time, those things it does very, very well. However, it doesn't really do anything more than that. The sleep tracking, I guess, works, but it doesn't seem too sophisticated. So other than the app and it not being super complicated, this is only a $50 watch, so you can't really expect a ton from it, and this is much cheaper than a Fitbit, and it actually has a screen rather than the Fitbit doesn't have a screen. So I think this is definitely a good thing if you're looking for a Fitbit. But anyway, the only thing I was thinking of is that this watch band is pretty cheap and doesn't feel too great. However, it's sweat proof and all of that, and this device is not waterproof, which is something that I was hoping to see, just because it is very difficult to get on your wrist. And so I was hoping to see that this is waterproof, so I didn't have to constantly be putting it back on my wrist if I'm showering or whatnot. And so that'd be pretty cool if it is constantly tracking everything. However, because you have to take it off to shower and all, you will be having to constantly put this back on and off your wrist, and getting it on your wrist is very, very difficult. So this has been my review of the XFIT Wireless Activity Tracker that has a built-in display, which is definitely nice since it's an improvement over the Fitbit. The Fitbit does not currently have a display, and it currently costs a lot more. So if you're looking for an alternative to a Fitbit and not wanting to spend a lot of money on an activity tracker, this is not a bad choice because this is only around $50, so it is pretty fairly priced and does everything that it's supposed to do very well. It is a little cheap on the watch band, and it is very, very difficult to get on your wrist. But other than that, this is not a bad thing to go with. It doesn't track altitude or stairs or anything, which is some of the things that I think the Fitbit does track. However, I could be wrong about that, and in which case this is definitely very comparable to the Fitbit. So thank you guys very much for watching this review. I hope I covered everything that you were hoping I would cover. If you feel like I left some things out or had some questions or comments or anything, or feel like I could do something better in this video, then feel free to leave a comment below. I'm always reading the comments and sometimes replying depending on the comment. This has been Jordan for Joe Reviews. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next review.